Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your end of August read. Do let me know how the volume is. I changed the position of my microphone because a lot of people were saying that my S's were too heavy and I didn't realize them. I guess it was because of where my microphone was placed. But anyway, I'm going to be doing general energies, tarot only. You know me, I'm going to just slip in a couple of this and thises for the astrology. But generally speaking, this is just going to be an energy pull, and I'm going to end with a yes/no read. So we're going to do Lenormand, we're going to do a Celtic cross spread, pull some oracles, end with a yes/no read. So stick around for that if you want the answer to a question that is on your heart. Let's pull Lenormand first. Let's see what we get. Let's see how many we feel called to pull. We have the house, starting with the house. The owl. Oh, let me show you. This is the house in Lenormand, different system, remember, than tarot. Then we have the owls, so some sort of non-flippant communication. It's something we need to watch out for. Either a communication from an elder, a loved one, or a red flag that we need to see. Okay, we have hidden knowledge in the Book of Secrets that someone is looking at. Okay, so I'm going to connect it if you're a guy watching this reading, or if you're a girl, it can be understood a little differently. Then we have birch broom, which can be about conflict or needing to get your ducks in a row. I'm not feeling called to stop yet. All right, we have the birds for, this is indicating a new cycle. We have choice. I'm going to pull down here now. We have to look at something closer. Magnifying glass. Compass. All right, and we got to pull. What do we need to focus on? Because whenever we have a directional, okay. So there's going to be something that's very unclear to you right now. This is the end. Okay. And we have the ruby as the end card. All right. So, you know what? Let's pull the tarot and then we'll go into that. New cycle coming for you. Oh, this is an interesting one, guys. All right, hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. Pull the energies for the Tower reverse. King of Wands. Two of Pentacles. It's the outcome. Best outcome. Which is not bad at all. It's fairness there. The star is foundation, about healing. The past, 10 of Cups reverse. You right now, 5 of Wands. I'm sorry, this is the future. Apologize. Pulled more Lenormand than I think I should have. 4 of Cups is you right now. 10 of Swords reverse, external energy to you, or your environment. King of Pentacles is your fear. Outcome, Ace of Swords. All right. Okay, we have a lot to unpack here. I'll pull the oracles after I pull the Lenormand because they might block them. All right. So we have this idea of foundation, home, roots, family, living, whoever's living in your home, whoever's not living in your home. You're thinking about them living in your home, buying a home, selling a home, making home improvements, something to do with the foundation of your life, because the home does indicate foundation. Then we have the owls, and the owls does indicate some sort of communication coming in, but it's not like, because in Lenormand there are 2 birds, right? Energies. One is, it indicates like social media, light chatter, positive light chatter. This one's a little more, I'm not going to say serious, but kind of more like where this is the kind of like profound wisdom messages that you get from like people who are elders in your life, long-term friends. But this could also just simply be a recognition of you need to pay attention to something. So then we have the Book of Hidden Secrets, and we have this guy looking at the secret. So it's like this guy has secrets. So if you're a female Virgo, I'm not saying that there's malice connected to this. I'm saying that if you are involved with a male, either in an intimate relationship or some sort of close work connection, a close friend, a close family member, they are not telling you everything. they may not even be fully in touch with everything. That's the thing here. They're very patient. This is a good energy, this man energy. There are two versions of the male. This is the more calmer one, but there's certainly something that is not being disclosed. But whatever it is, you're going to be vibing it because you're going to be looking out for these red flags. It's going to be very intuitive, either through some sort of intuitive message that comes to you, or just somebody says something to you that makes you ask yourself a certain question about this situation in a certain way, and there can end up being an argument. Birch broom does indicate argument. It indicates having to put your ducks in a row. So something where there could be a miscommunication here, where somebody is not telling you the full truth of something and you're filling in the blanks. And sometimes when we make assumptions, we're not always correct, but this could be that you are correct. Whatever it is, regardless, there is this idea of there being conflict and you needing to put your ducks in a row. And then because we have the stalks, which indicate new cycle, this new cycle is going to incite choice. But now this is the thing. When we have magnifying glass, we always have to look at the preceding card before it. We have to look at it a little closer and say, do we really have the choice that we think we have right now as far as jobs go? Do we think we have as much of a choice in relationship that we think we have? Like, we want to be careful that we're not either over glorifying something in our mind's eye, something that we would really like to bring to ourselves. The need to look at it closer is being incited here. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's being, look at something a little closer, because the reality is your true north may be where there is this conflict, because this conflict does indicate lack of clarity. And we have clouds and then the sun. You're confused about something here, but this is going to clear. And then what's on the other side of it is the ruby, which indicates marriage, engagement, foundation, strong foundation. So going back to the house energy, it's that. So if this has to do with a career, obviously if it has to do with a relationship, it's pretty obvious where you guys have this falling out and you're like, I'm out of here. I'm so done with this person. I'm not doing this anymore. There are a million fish in the sea. True, but energetically, you may not be able to extricate yourself quite as easily. You need to look at it because this person may be who you're actually supposed to be with, even though times are really tough right now, because through the clouds will be the sun and will be the strong foundation. Because I am getting whatever this situation is that's creating conflict in your life is actually the very thing that's going to bring you the firm foundation that you're looking for. But you don't want to see that right now, and I'm laughing to myself because it's like, you got the birch broom and the stalk. It's like, I'm out of here, you know. And it's like, well, you might want to rethink that. Even having to do with a job. I don't need this nonsense anymore. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da, right? But it's like, well, you might want to double check that. Okay. So, yeah. So there's going to be some conflict. You're going to be dealing with some... But the thing is, I don't feel like... I'm not getting any like malicious energy, even though the birch broom is like, you know, not a good energy. It is, you know, this idea of conflict. These cards don't want to shuffle today. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. Okay, so really to me, I like to kind of break it down into like, to practical. Be in the present and dream of the future. So be present and plan. You know, but understand that we have 5 big planets retrograde right now. Just have to understand that, right? Understand. Again, I did say that I wasn't going to infuse any astrology in, but you know what? I have to a little bit. We do have the new moon in Leo happening on the 18th. And for you guys, it's happening in your 12th house, which is all about your wishes. And the veil being very thin and you really being very in touch with your spirituality. And there's going to be a lot of energy in that house as far as being creative as well, right? So I do feel like this fire in your belly to sort of really focus and bring your wishes into the 3D, right? But again, we have all these retrograde planets happening. Now we also have Uranus retrograde happening for you guys in your 9th house between now and January 1. 9th house has to do with belief system, right? It's a Sagittarius house. It's belief system. It's got to do with travel. It's got to do with higher education, but it has to do with your belief system. Like, like the nuts and bolts of your moral code and your moral compass, and what do you think relationship is supposed to look like? What is your idea of success? What does it mean to you? Forget society. What is it that you need? And it really works with this 12th house energy, because as you're really getting in touch with what your dream is and what your soul really wants, you have to align it with your belief system and what resonates with you and only you, Virgo, no one else. It doesn't matter what anybody else wants, thinks that you should be doing. It doesn't even matter what the old version of you thinks you should be doing. You really have to honor where you're at right now. All right, one last oracle, and then we'll pull apart these. We'll unpack the tarot. Ionia, everything in perfect balance. Yes. Yes, perfect balance. We need that. I just totally kicked this dice. Hold on a second with me. Okay. So we have you. We have the sun, and we have the 12th house. Yes, well, Uranus is retrograde. Oh my gosh. So absolutely, you guys, Virgo, are all about, oh, I just flipped you, but it was you. Here we go. You guys are all about, you guys are the problem solvers of the zodiac. You know that. You guys are the critical thinkers of the zodiac. You know that. Thinking super critical about what is your wish and figuring out where your ego or someone else's ego, for good, bad, or indifferent, has been getting in the way from you being able to bring about what you really want for yourself. And really kind of harnessing that and understanding it a little more closely, really looking at that. So let's see what energy you really need to be focusing in right now. Mercury, end of the month, Mercury energy, beautiful. It's your ruler, it's Gemini's ruler. This is all about focusing on one day at a time, right? That's what you guys are, right? You guys are day-to-day work environment, day-to-day health, all of that. Mercury is not only about that, it's also about learning. So tap into your brother Gemini there and say, listen, what do I need to learn in order to bring myself the day-to-day that I'm really looking for, and get really honest about what's necessary, and just understand that this is all part of the process. All part of the process. Now going to the tarot, coming into this energy, we have the Ten of Cups reversed. Still very positive, even though it's reversed. This means that you might be having a tough go with friends, some sort of situation that's preventing you from being the true, authentic version of yourself within a connection, within your life in general. Because some sort of needing to put up a front or a face is getting in the way of there being really true, authentic, or was anyway, true, authentic communication. Hiding behind something, Virgo. So you might have been dealing with this energy regarding somebody else, because, with these readings, because they're general on YouTube, keeping it in perspective, the energy could always be flip-flopped. It could be vice versa. But it's this idea that everything could be fabulous if only this friend situation didn't happen, or everyone showed up as a more authentic version of themselves. It's a frustrating energy, because you know that there's so much beauty to be had in this situation, but then you're like, but why can't they take that mask off? Or why can't I take my mask off? To be the most authentic version. It's really not that difficult. It seems like it is, because who wants to do that? It's uncomfortable, but that's all that's required to turn this upright, which is an amazing energy. So this is a deepening of commitment, a deepening of communication. Coming into this energy, somebody, again, I'm not saying it was you. I'm saying that you're dealing with perhaps an energy, or maybe it was a little bit of both of you, where nobody was showing up in their true, authentic way. Maybe you were even doing a job where you were like, I'm so wearing a mask right now. Like, this is like slow torture. I don't like this job. This is not me. I might have the skill set and the ability to do a really great job at this place, but I'm not liking it. It's not me. It's not who I am. It's certainly showing up a couple of different ways. We do have the Tower energy in reverse. So when the Tower is reversed, you might find yourself taking responsibility when you're blameless, and this is happening right now. So can also show that you've maybe held on to a career, a project, or a relationship that's just not strong enough to stand the test of time. And maybe you've clung to the past to protect yourself from reality. But the thing is here, your fears may materialize. So the Tower's collapse is inevitable. So don't feel responsible for the forces outside of your control regarding this. Like you can only control yourself. You can't control anyone else, right? It's the way all energy is, but particularly this one. Its impact is it feels sudden, it feels dramatic, even though it's probably not. Like maybe the red flags were not being recognized along the path. But you're going to know very soon, you're going to know exactly where you stand, which is really, really good. So crossing this, we have the King of Wands. So as a general energetic influence, the King of Wands is being very focused on a new path, feeling very motivated and excited to move forward on, in a new way. King of Wands is a great energy because it's Cancer and Leo. And Leo is a fire energy, which is all about, come on, let's go. Let's be creative. Let's work this romance. Let's enjoy our children. And let's do all of that while we're also going to be feeling safe and secure, right? Because it's Cancer and Leo. So it's really feeling excited to to move. Now, this, for some of you, you may be meeting somebody like this who is probably a very strong business entrepreneur, somebody with a fiery personality, who's worldly, who's traveled, who's very interesting to talk to. There's a lot of motivation to move forward with this person. So for some of you, a relationship perhaps ended and you're meeting somebody new. Maybe this relationship ended because of this person, with general message, right? This could be maybe this job ended and you're having this general energy of excited to get into something that's new. Just excited by the idea and the prospect of this new situation moving forward. Okay? Because that's crossing, it's complementing you. I feel like that's complementing you. It's definitely not like a negative crossing energy I'm getting. I'm not. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is, first of all, Two of Pentacles is working out your money. So this is, even if you're on a little bit, you might be in a space where, like, particularly if you're like, let's say you're a freelancer of some sort, you might be in like a little bit of a wonky time with your money right now. Even if money is coming in, maybe it's not what it normally is, whatever it is. But despite feeling a sense of restriction, you're able to work out your finances in a balanced way that works for you, which is a positive thing. It also does indicate like positive balance happening in relationship, positive balance happening overall with things that you value. So it is this insight of the valuing of the balancing out of things that matter, because it's Jupiter in Capricorn. So Jupiter expands whatever it's in, right? And Capricorn's all about work and about structure and restriction and all that, because it's ruled by Saturn. But Jupiter in there, Jupiter eases all of that and brings things into balance. So I think that is a really good energy to have, as the best that can be achieved. Because Virgo, honestly, I feel like unbalanced scales right now, and I feel like there's going to be a balancing there. There's going to be a healing. Yeah, listen, I mean, the foundation of the reading is the star, and the star is Aquarius, and this is a great energy because Aquarius is about, first of all, doing something different than what you've been doing, and it incites the future because it's ruled by Uranus. And it's all of that is facilitated through a healing, through a putting to rest things from the past that weren't working. They just weren't working in the relationship. They just weren't working in that job, or maybe just the job. Because again, this is about doing something completely different. So you're either going to be handling a relationship completely different, friendship, family connection. I see many of you actually changing jobs, I think, and a lot of this is deeply connected to your belief system and what it is that you really want to bring to yourself. So you might not be doing a totally different career, but doing it in a different way, I definitely see happening. Because right now you're the Four of Cups energy, so you're feeling very disappointed, very disillusioned. You really are. You got your checklist out. Like, I don't like when they do A, B, and C in this relationship. I don't like, D, E, and F in this job. I just don't like certain things I'm identifying. Now, what you want to pay attention to is that you're not deflecting areas that you might be identifying as things that you're not happy with within the relationship or job, in the way of perhaps you were not actually as ready as you thought you might be for this new position, as ready as you thought you were for this relationship. That's the thing. What happens with the Four of Cups energy is a lot of times it could be things can come up in the job or in the relationship that poke at old, like unresolved feelings in us that were incited or established from maybe past relationships or from even from our childhood, and we never fully healed them. And so this person that we've called onto our path, or this situation that we've called onto our path energetically, was put in our path to actually make us look at these things again. But we can accept this energy as, no, I don't like you. You make me feel uncomfortable. You're not showing up the way I need, or whatever. But in reality, you just may need to look at yourself a little more closely. And I know that's not easy to hear, but that is what the energy means. So I need to give you the message as I'm getting it. Now, your environment, right, or external influence, we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Swords is communication, it's truth, right? And this is like one sword at a time over time, to the point where you can't possibly stay in the cycle anymore, right? Because it's Mercury in Virgo. And you guys are all about like what makes sense. You guys are the most pragmatic, practical sign, right? Like, does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. What's the solution? There's no solution, so why am I even bothering with this? And so the energetic influence here is feeling like kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? But this cycle ending because you realizing like the way it was was no way it could work like that anymore. Whether it was poking at old wounds at you in you or not, whether you were ready for it or not, it doesn't matter. The way that situation was rolling out just did not fit you. It didn't fit you, and you were very much in a space of recognizing that. Swords can also mean where, honestly, like the Ten of Swords could be like a lot of gossip. Ten of Swords typically indicates more like a group of people, usually, right? So this is your environment speaking negatively about you, not having your best wishes at heart. A lot of times you don't even realize this energy is going on, but people are just acting a little left of center in your family, in your group, whatever it is. A lot of that could be based in jealousy, and maybe you are inside, you're vibing it rather. But it's that kind of energy that's external to you. But this could be a lot of like manipulative type of energies, just like not nice energies in your environment, right? Yeah. And it could be one person speaking to other people, right? About just not a different narrative than what's real, if that makes sense, their own little false narrative. In your fear position or in your hope position, we have the King of Pentacles. So again, this could kind of work both ways, as a hope and as a fear, because the King of Pentacles has their act together when it comes to money, right? King of Pentacles is Aries and Taurus, and it's about being on this fresh path, making money, kind of like turning over a new leaf and having it go really, really well, being very connected in relationship. If that's the situation, you guys having everything that you need in order to be successful, whether it's in that job, in that relationship, whatever it is. And that's so much what you want. That's your hope, obviously. But it's also your fear that that's not going to happen, which is understandable. But keep in mind that that's like more of a psychological position. And then we have the Ace of Swords. This is beautiful. The Ace of Swords is a really good energy. It's kind of like the sun of the minor arcana, where the Ace of Swords blesses all of the minor arcanas that might be a little challenging surrounding it, which I really like, because that would address the Four of Cups as well as the Five of Wands that we're going to be going into next. So I really like this. This is new beginnings. This is a new truth, a new perspective, a new way of looking at things. This could indicate a new relationship, a new start in a relationship, like fresh start. A new job offer. There's newness here, and it's really benefic. This is really good. This is like a new reality. It's a new reality, and it's going really well. And then we have the Five of Wands. So don't get scared of this, because Five of Wands, it's like battle of the egos and stuff. But this doesn't have to be, this could mean like, this could mean a couple of things. First of all, yes, it could be a battle of the wills where you're having this new start and then you end up in the battle of the wills with somebody. But I feel more like there's delay. And it's like a frustration in, this could be a delay in signing of contracts that will ultimately happen. This is short-lived. So if you're buying a home, if you're signing on to a new position, if you're signing paperwork for a project, if you're trying to move something forward, it's going to happen. There's going to be delay. There's going to be a couple of things that need ironing out. And I don't see this being like a big, like, the Five of Swords incites like more change. This is like a bump in the road. You guys have the conversation, and I feel like it's going to be just fine. But that is what we have for all of this. Okay, so let's pull these. And let's get your question going in your mind. Remember, you're going to ask one question that would require a yes or no answer. So not an open-ended question, but a yes-no. And you want to ask it the same way 3 times. Out loud is best, but if you're among people or you're out somewhere, you could certainly do it to yourself. It's just very important that you ask the one question the same way 3 times in full sentence format. Okay, full sentence format. And I pull 3 cards. So the cards can come out either yes, no, neutral, or exception. And I'll explain what each of those mean. So just focus on the cards right now. Nice deep belly breath. Fill your belly up. Do a Buddha breath. Fill your belly up like it's like a balloon. Relax your shoulders. Focus on the card. And ask the question 3 times. I don't honor reversals with these. Okay, let's pull the first card. Queen of Cups, that's a yes. Second. Page of Wands, second yes. Third card. 6 of Swords is a no. So when we get 2 yeses and a no, that means yes, but not yet. Yes, but not yet. Okay? Something has to roll out, formulate before whatever it is that you want to happen. Beautiful energies though, and you're moving away from something that's toxic. So good. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.